Welcome to Healthier and Happier Humans, episode 27. I'm Ashley McGee, and today I'm answering your questions. We're going to be talking about things like going vegetarian, moving, and like getting the motivation to work out, how I feel about like scales and weighing myself, all good stuff. If this is the first time that we've met, I am a health and wellness coach that helps military women lose weight without spending hours in the gym or in the kitchen. And I come to you with a weekly show to teach you a little bit about health and wellness and fitness and all those fun things, self-care, all good stuff. All right, so let's dig into the questions. This will be a pretty quick one, I think. So first question I got was, how do I feel about a vegetarian diet? And I'm opening with this because I may step on some toes here. But first things first, if you want to become a vegetarian for humanitarian reasons or, like sustainability practices, things like that, like I'm all for it. I think that's a really personal choice, and I'm not going to pass any judgment on that. However, if you think that becoming a vegetarian is the way that you'll finally lose whatever extra weight you have, I'm going to caution you against it. The reason why is because it affects sustainability. Because if you really love eating meat and you're just doing the vegetarian diet to lose weight, well, it's like any other diet and you're not going to stick to it. The goal should be a healthy lifestyle that's sustainable. That's where true health and weight loss comes from. So it really comes back down to your motivation. If you are, like I said, if you're doing it for, humanitarian reasons, like ethical reasons, more power to you. But don't just do it to lose weight. Now, I do want to say, if you do eat meat, the quality of the meat is really, really important. There's a lot of trash that is in our meat, or can be. So personally, I use ButcherBox. It's high quality, it's sustainably sourced, and they also commit to humane deaths, which sounds a little morbid, but if that is something that you're concerned about, it's something like, personally, I'm an animal lover, but I also do eat meat. And so I like knowing that there wasn't extra suffering involved in that process. So that's my first question that I'm answering for you guys. Okay, moving on. How can I move throughout the day? Like, I often say, move throughout the day. Well, people are like, how? Okay. So if you work in an office, take breaks. Get up, stand up, stand up, oh, you're right. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Anyway, no, get out of your chair, stretch. You can stretch from side to side. I mean, my back just popped doing that alone. You can do some jumping jacks, kind of swing your arms around. My back just popped doing that. Clearly I needed to do that. Roll your shoulders back. And even I like to take a deep breath, raise my arms, blow it back out. And it's doing a few things for you. Like, obviously it's getting the blood moving in your body, but it's also, it's reinvigorating your energy. And sitting is so tough on our bodies that when you move throughout the day like that, it's actually really, really helpful. And those little things add up. You can get up and do 10 squats, get up and do 10 jumping jacks. If the office floor isn't super gross, you could do 10 push-ups. We have carpet in my office from like the 70s. There's no way I'm touching that floor, but maybe you can. I don't know. And this is obviously assuming you still work in an office. If you're working from home, well, even better, you can do this in your house. So easy. And then you can choose, the more active things. So instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs, park further away from, if you are leaving your house. All of those sort of things that you've heard over and over again. And the reason why you hear those things over and over again is because it works. It sounds boring. It's not sexy. It's not fancy, but it works. It makes an impact. little changes done consistently over time is what will make an impact in your life. And then lastly, if you are just starting to work out, start small. Do 10 to 20 minute workouts, body weight workouts. Go for a walk around your neighborhood. Maybe get a light pair of dumbbells. But there's so many at-home workouts that you can do. And I even have an older video. If you go back, I have 10 body weight exercises you can do anywhere. So go check out that video. Okay. So that moves me into another question I was asked, which is, how do you get motivated to work out, especially if you're like a gym rat and you can't leave your house right now? It's really, really tough. Okay. So this is what I do whenever I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to do it. And this is like me as a human that actually very much loves working out and looks forward to my workouts, usually. We all have those days that we don't, for the record. But what I do is I focus on how I know I will feel. So right now I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. But if you can take a moment and put yourself in the mindset of, okay, after I work out, how will my body feel? Will I feel less stressed? Will I have more energy? Will I be more patient? Will I be calmer? Will my body feel good? Will I feel productive or satisfied? Like whatever that emotion is for you, really key in on it and hone that and say, and just hold on to it. And you're like, okay. And even if you're still like, oh, I don't want to, then what you do, especially since you're home right now, then say, all right, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever. And if I still don't want to continue doing this, I say 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes. If you're like, I still don't want to continue doing this, then stop. Give yourself permission to stop. But usually once you've hit that 5-minute mark, you're starting to feel it. You're like, okay, I can do this, right? And if you're just starting out, that may be 5 minutes into a 10-minute workout. Well, then at that point, you're halfway done. You might as well keep going. So those are my two biggest keys that I personally use for motivation. And I think it is important to figure out how you personally are motivated. So that works for me. It may be something different for you. Another thing that you can do is figure out some sort of reward system. Now, don't make it food. That's not helping your relationship with food or your ultimate goals of weight loss, if that's the goal. So don't make the reward food. But think of something that might feel like an indulgence. Maybe it's a bubble bath and a lavender candle. Maybe it's taking 30 minutes to read while you tell your partner to deal with the kids. Whatever it is, give yourself some sort of reward to look forward to if the emotion piece of it isn't enough. Okay. Another question I got, which is, how do you transition into intermittent fasting? And I've done a full episode on intermittent fasting, so I highly recommend you go back and look at that. But just quick and dirty, the thing I would say is do it slowly. Don't jump into it immediately. When I first started doing intermittent fasting, I shifted my eating window by an hour each day, and I let my body adapt, and I listened to my body. For example, I do a 48 to 72 hour supported fast about once a quarter. And I just actually ended my fast today. And the reason why I ended it is because I was listening to my body and going, okay, this isn't continuing. This isn't what my body needs right now. I can just feel it. And that's something that I think is really cool and beneficial about intermittent fasting, is it helps you do a little bit of a reset and really key in onto what your body's actually telling you, instead of things like emotional eating and habitual eating. When you shift those eating windows, then you're focusing more on well, am I actually hungry, or is it a habit? So that's a little bit about intermittent fasting. If you want to know more, definitely go check out that episode. And then I think that's it. Oh, sorry. No. How do I feel about scales and weighing myself? I hate it. If you are struggling losing weight, if you are struggling with motivation, throw your scale out the flipping window. I'm serious. I mean, maybe not out the window. You might hurt someone, but Have your partner lock it in a closet where you can't get to it. Like, ditch the scale. The reason why people get so caught up in a number, and that number is BS for the record, so caught up in a number that they get discouraged. They don't see it reflect like whatever like random ideal number they have in their brain. Y'all, I weigh the same now as I did in college. However, in college, I was overweight. I had high cholesterol. And I was struggling to pass like weigh-ins in the physical readiness test for the military. Okay, I weigh the number on the scale is the same. Now, what's the difference? Muscle mass. My body composition's completely changed. So what I recommend, instead of doing a scale, take pictures. Take pictures in a sports bra and shorts. Yep. Front, side, back. Take measurements. I usually do just waist and hips. If that's something that I'm tracking. I don't really do that anymore. But if it's something I'm tracking, you know. And then check in once a month. Because if you are making consistent changes, you will see results, period. But if you check in more often than that, your body fluctuates so much on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, you are going to discourage yourself. Don't do that to yourself. All right. I hope you liked this FAQ episode. I will also link to the other episodes that I mentioned in the show notes. But please, if this is something that you enjoyed or if you found the knowledge valuable, share it with a friend. I'd really, really appreciate it. So I hope you all are staying safe. Keep on living your healthiest and most abundant life. I know things are hard right now, but we are going to come out of this stronger on the other side. I love you. Stay safe. Talk soon.